And welcome back to Scoreboard, everybody. We're going to take you through the Mountain Valley Conference, where A.L. Johnson played at Middlesex today. A.L. Johnson, of course, 2-2 coming into this one, having won 2 out of its last 3 games. Went down to Middlesex for a Mountain Valley Conference tussle. No contest, folks, 26-12 over the Middlesex Blue Jays. Dan Ludecki, a 35-yard touchdown run. Frank Metzel, a 2-yard scamper. Rashawn Stovall, a 6-yard touchdown run. Johnson Regional's Frank Metzel, 15 carries, 112 yards, and 2 scores. Rashawn Stovall, 17 carries, 93 yards. For Johnson, who improves to 3-2. And continuing in the Mountain Valley Conference, it was Manville. Sounds like a baseball score, folks. 8-7 over Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston's hard luck continues. Though for GL, Rich Moriarty recovered a block punt in the end zone. Scott Reddy added the PAT. For Manville, it was Mark Pearson, 21-yard pass to Chris Glinka. And for GL, late drive was stopped by Aaron Soule of Manville. Recovery at the 25-yard line. Tough loss for GL. Continuing in the Mountain Valley Conference, Roselle Park got shut out. 41-0 loss to Dayton Regional. Not quite like last year's team, folks. Roselle Park drops to 2-3. Dayton with the victory, 2-1. Chris Reno for Dayton, a 90-yard scamper. Dwayne Bell received a 47-yard pass from Mike Kelleher. And Kelleher, 202 yards passing, 15 of 20. Great day for Mike Keller. And also, Hillside over Bound Brook, 39-14. Bound Brook, tough loss in that one. And continuing in the Mountain Valley Conference, it was Immaculata, 64. Yes, you see that right, 64. No, 53-7. Got confused there over North Plainfield, and it was Ridge, 19. Central, 14. Ridge improves to 3-2. Don, let's go to the Group 4 schools in the Iron Hills Conference.
Okay, move to the Iron Hills, where West Essex hosted Dover, and they come away with a victory, 19-0. And we have highlights of this game. Start off here in the first quarter, Brian Griffel, the West Essex senior fullback, leads the Knights' ground attack with 124 yards on 26 carries. This run keyed the drive that led to the Knights' first score. And in the second quarter, this punt by Dover's Jason Falila was blocked by senior right tackle Eric Lem and recovered by Griffel. The block led to this touchdown. This, the first of 2 rushing TDs by junior left halfback Darren DeFazio. And here in the second score by DeFazio, a 16-0 score at halftime. Move on to the third quarter. Then it was DeFazio again, an 18-yard run which set up a 20-yard field goal by DiLorenzo, which finished the scoring 19-0 West Essex over Dover. This is the 20-yard field goal by DiLorenzo, and that ended the scoring for West Essex, and they come away with a victory, 19-0. And you see the coach getting hit by the Gatorade, and you can see Dover High School against West Essex immediately following this telecast of Scoreboard. And we move on in the Northern Hills, the Iron Hills, excuse me, where Columbia hosted Livingston, and they come away with the victory, 25-7. And yes, we have highlights of this one. Columbia, here we go. Nope. Okay, Columbia got right to work on this one. Shaquille Dyer exploded for the 59-yard TD, outrunning and outlasting the Livingston defense. Just 2 minutes into the ballgame. Trying to top himself, Dyer again goes long distance and again outrunning the entire Lancer defense, this time telling an 84-yard TD run, pushing the score to 12-0. Hey, do you think Dyer is tired? Think again. Here he runs in slow-mo and was still able to outrun the Livingston defense. He just keeps going and going, getting a second wind at the 35. He picks up speed, and they're not going to get him, and it's 18-0. Hey, Shaquille, take a break. You deserve it. We head to the fourth quarter. Livingston gets on the board with this 11-yard TD from Joe Burns to Brendan Pichetta, making it an 18-7 Columbia lead. But this day will belong to Shaquille Dyer. This time he goes 42 yards with some French pastry, a little juking and jiving through the defense for his 4th TD of the ball game, making it 25-7 Columbia. Dyer on the day, 282 yards, 11 carries, 25.7 yards a carry for 4 touchdowns. And you can see that game October 22nd at 10:30, Sunday the 23rd at 7:30, and Tuesday the 25th at 3. And another score to report on, Roxbury wins over East Orange 20-0. And Morris Knowles, the Golden Eagles, come away with a victory 28-7 over Seton Hall. And we'll send it back to you, James, for the Colonial Hills. Iron Hills, Parsippany 26-6 over Hanover Park. Booton 15-14 over Mount Olive. Parsippany Hills 21-14 over Morris Hills. West Morris 41-0 over Weequahic. And Randolph was 35-7 over Morristown. James?
Well, Don, I think you got a little excited. You wanted to talk to me about the Glen Ridge Mountain Lakes game, and of course that was a big game to talk about. Glen Ridge coming into this game 4-0 on the season. Mountain Lakes always gives them trouble in the Colonial Hills Conference, and yes, Mountain Lakes comes away with a hard-fought 14-13 victory. Glen Ridge falls to 4-1. Mountain Lakes improves to 4-1. Bailey Ellard remains winless in the Colonial Hills Conference, 23-0 loss to Verona. Jamie D'Angelo scored on a 4-yard run. D'Angelo, 18 carries, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Smith, 79 yards passing. Verona improves to 2-3. Kinnelon and Immaculate, you wanted the game, you don't get it. It was a forfeit. Kinnelon did not have enough players. And also in the Colonial Hills Conference, Cedar Grove shuts out Whippany Park 28-0, and Chatham 7-0 over Bernards. Don?
Yes, we move to the Northern Hills, where Passaic Valley wins over Clifford Scott 14-6. This makes Passaic Valley 3-2, Clifford Scott 2-3. One highlight for Clifford Scott, Kevin Bemery had a 19-yard pass from Sean Roberts for the touchdown. And we moved on to West Orange and Lakeland. West Orange comes away with the victory 28-23. The Mountaineers, Mike Weiner, 3 touchdowns and 243 yards rushing. And we move on to Pequannock and Milburn. We have a score 8-7 Pequannock over Milburn. James?
Oh, thanks very much, Don.
West Milford 29-17 over DePaul. Butler 38-0 over Montville. And Morris Catholic is tonight against Essex Catholic at 7:30.
Well, gee, I wanted to talk about Secaucus and Leonia a little too quickly. Secaucus going against Leonia in BCSL action. Secaucus, after losing to Beckton Regional earlier, 37-0 today over Leonia. Mike Clancy, 2 touchdowns, a 10-yard run and a 4-yard run. Clancy, 13 carries, 90 yards. He was the star of the day. Secaucus improves to 2-3. Elsewhere in the BCSL, New Milford and Harrison. Folks, we have no score to report on. Game is in progress. Harrison Blue Tide, its homecoming game tonight. And finally, in the BCSL, it was Beckton, 27-13 over Lyndhurst. And yes, on top, North Arlington pitches the shutout, 32-0. And that wraps it up for the BCSL action. And if you want to tune into some other TV3 sports events, here we got them. We're going to start with Dover and West Essex high school football immediately following the conclusion of this show, and a repeat again Thursday, October 27th at 3 p.m. Dover and West Essex, also in the Iron Hills Conference, Livingston and Columbia. You can see that game tonight at 10:30, again Sunday at 7:30 p.m., little nighttime game, and Tuesday in the afternoon after school, folks, at 3 p.m. And folks, a lot of different occurrences today. A few teams won, a few teams lost. Who will make the famous TV3 Top 10 list? You got to watch Paul Spahala. That's Monday at 6:30 on Time In on Suburban Cablevision TV3. Well, Don, a lot of different scores, a lot of different results. A couple of teams, well, they might not make the playoffs today.
That's right, James. I'm looking for an exciting week next week, especially coming down for the state playoffs later on.
Well, Don, that'll about wrap it up for this edition of Scoreboard, week number 5. For Don Smith, I'm James Wilkes. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week, again at 7:30 on the show. Scoreboard, that is.